A shocking story about the way that banks preyed on customers. Two former Bank of America employees now sharing their experiences as salespeople when they say their job was to convince people to take cash advances in some cases they couldn't afford. Deb Farrick joins me now with more about their story. Hi, Deb.
Hey there, Karen. Well, you know, Americans are $970 billion in debt. And the big question is, well, how did they get there? But those calls that you get from credit card companies offering money, sometimes $25,000, 0% interest, well, it comes with strings attached. We spoke to two women. They tell us what's really going on.
Think of the movie Boiler Room.
You know, I didn't get to where I am today by losing my clients' money.
But instead of stockbrokers, there are credit card account managers. And instead of pushing stocks, the product is cash.
I alone sold almost $250 million.
Kate Colombo in the blue coat spent 4 years as an account manager with credit card giant MBNA, which was bought by Bank of America in 2005. Kathy Ellingwood was there for a year and a half. She quit this summer. Both worked here at this customer call center in Belfast, Maine. They never worked together, but their stories are similar.
Every customer that calls in is a mark. It's a great big con.
Thank you.
Kate and Kathy say customers would call in with a basic question about interest rates or fees. Once on the phone, they were instructed to entice customers to take cash advances, sometimes up to the max, whether they could afford it or not.
I would say 90% of the time this was the response. People were pragmatic. They would say, I don't need $100,000.
Right.
You know, and we would find a way to convince them that you need the money.
What are the trigger words?
I'm in financial difficulty. I can't make my payment.
Or I have a son, my son just left for college, or my car is not running.
Colombo says some people even asked about a $50,000 cash advance for a down payment on a house. That's illegal. But the women tell us they were trained to get around it, saying,
what I can do is I can deposit some money into your checking account, and once the funds are there, it's yours to do with as you please.
Bank of America tells CNN only customers in good standing and with good payment history are able to access cash up to the available credit line. Colombo and Ellingwood say they had customer payment histories on their computer screens and were told to sell hard to everyone. Then they would speed through intricate disclosure notices, which included how a zero or low interest rate could convert to as much as 28% if a payment was late, even a day.
There was this one old man, he was in his 90s, and he had all of this available credit, and I don't remember how much, but a lot, maybe $100,000 in credit. I've got my manager to my right screaming at me, Colombo, you need to sell, you need to sell, you need to sell.
Bank of America calls its terms clear and transparent. But lending watchdog Jim Campen says the hard sell tactics, which he's seen from various credit card companies, border on predatory.
We haven't identified any illegal practices. What we've seen are practices that are highly unethical.
The two women say their conversations were monitored, and the more they sold, the bigger their salary.
And if you didn't do it, you got yanked off the phone and
you got reprimanded.
Bank of America calls the allegations by the former employees incorrect and tells us, quote, our call center associates are focused on serving customer financial needs and responding to questions about their accounts. But performance reviews for Colombo, which she provided CNN, tell a slightly different story about the sell tactics. She is told by supervisors to be more aggressive. Quote, you cannot sell what you don't offer. In another, quote, understand the importance of selling at the highest possible rate and not offering or soliciting reductions to rates that are not necessary.
Everybody on that level knew what we were doing. We were being told to do what we did.
Do you feel guilty?
Yes.
About what you did?
Without question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without question.
Now, Bank of America refused to talk to us about the individual cases. We asked them about the women, but they had nothing to say. Karen?
Yeah, you guys tried to do a little bit more digging as well about what the terms of some of these cash advances were.
That's exactly right. We even asked them to provide the disclosure notice, and they wouldn't do that. We asked them, do all call centers train account managers in the same way, because there are call centers across the United States. They did not respond to that or any of our direct questions, simply providing the statement.
Very interesting.